can let me know like what space. This is the living room space. Hey, welcome to my house. I just have to put on a little face, you know. My room is kind of crazy.
Okay.
Welcome to the main house. Room de la artiste. So this is my room. I've got my hats hung up because they've got to be hung up, you know. So I figured I'd use them as decoration. We got stage clothes. This is supposed to all be for shoes, but it's for like just a whole bunch of shit. This is a gift that I just got.
Oh, that looks good.
Last night from a friend, so we might bust this open.
What?
Yeah. Celebrate. Yeah, but my big old Buddha.
Right.
My plants to keep my whole space alive. You know, I got a couple plants happening over here. Some nice paintings and shit. My friend Edna did this one.
Which one?
The top one.
At the top? Alright.
And my friend Will did this one over here on the right.
Which one? Oh, Will. Of course.
Yeah, my friend Will. He's amazing.
Yes, he is.
My name is NickiB. And originally from the Bronx. Born and raised. My family's Dominican, but I'm like a New Yorker first and foremost. I'm a New Yorker. I'm sure.
So you got into music?
I think I was always into music. Professionally, I came back to New York, and my friends, we used to sing growing up on the trains, and we would use that money that we made on the train to buy burgers at Burger King. And so music was just, I didn't like, we just thought it was so crazy that people would give us money for singing. So we were like, oh, let's just keep doing it. So we just kept doing it. And then we go into Burger King like, you know, you get a burger. You get a burger. You get some chili cheese fries. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we will play spades. And then when I got back to New York, after leaving for college, my friends were doing it professionally. And I was like, oh, man, I want to do this professionally. My friends were like, we've been waiting. You know, so it just kind of started from there. And I didn't really know, I didn't have a vision as like how it was going to play out. I just knew I wanted to sing. And I found out that you could get paid for it. And I thought one day, like, how amazing would it be if I could do this all the time? Like, if I could get paid enough to pay my bills. So then that became like the new, it was never like, oh, let me be a superstar. Like, how can I be Beyonce? It was like, oh, how can I like, oh, I could pay a phone bill with this. What if I could pay a phone bill and my Metro card? What if I could pay a phone bill, my Metro card, my electric, and my gas? And you just like keep doing it. And one day you're like, oh, what if I could like pay rent? You know? And the more you learn, the more you grow, the more you make, the more you learn, the better you are at your craft. And you're able to really shape a life for yourself within what you love to do. I feel like maybe that's the career path of everybody, no matter what it is you choose.
Right.
You put in your grueling hours, you get paid like shit. You know, you work, you learn, you keep pushing, and then like the work pays off.
That's true.
At some point, you are able to, I don't know, like audition for something or apply for a special, I don't know, degree or like a certain school or like a certain profession. And, you know, if you're a lawyer, it's the bar. If you're a doctor, it's, you know, med school. It's whatever it is,
right.
You know.
So, what was the hardest of all of you, like of the husband? What was it? Thoughts?
I'll tell you the hardest thing, honestly, I just dealt with. shooting this video that we just shot. And it was, well, it was not being pretty. Or like, I don't know, like wearing like big clothes and like a wig and a mullet and like really trying to like access this like weird place in my mouth so I could really deliver this fucking like, you know, like I had to really unpack some needing to appear together, you know, as a woman, and like not wanting to like have like I was like, I don't want to look dumpy. I was like, oh God, I need to like make sure that I'm like, I was like, wait. And really pushing past that to realize I don't have to look good all the time, because I wanted to be a character, and the character required for me to look at myself and say, yes, this is everything. Like I'm serving Steve. I had to serve Steve, okay? And so once I was able to push past my own, like, oh, I need to look good, I was like, oh, I'm serving Steve. Like, I need to look like Steve. That's what the fuck I need to look like. You know what I mean? Like, I need to sound like Steve. That's what I need to sound like. I need to play like Steve. That's what I need to play like. And then it became something that was super fun. I'm like hanging out with my friends and making this like crazy video where we're just like 80s like rock stars, or we're just like, you know.
Yeah, like complete out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, to just jump out of my comfort zone and get into the unknown and feel it and really enjoy it. Because I feel like we all elevate and spread within our fields in different ways. You're always going to get an opportunity to do something that you have never done before. For me, it was emulating an 80s man who...
With a mullet.
With a mullet, right? Okay? Who does these dance moves that are so not my dance moves. And like, you know, like it's just like totally not me. But being able to jump into that and say like, oh, I'm going to do this shit. Like, I'm going to do this shit so hard. So by the time Eugene hit me up and was like, hey, would you be down to like wear a wig? He's like, we won't make you look crazy, but like, would you be down to wear like I was like, oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Put me in a wig.
What do you think is the best of what you do?
Maybe the ability to create an atmosphere where people can let go of shit. So, like if I work for the IRS, I don't get to help people release stress. I am a source of it. If I work for customer service, T-Mobile, like it's just like this, you know, it's harder to connect with people because you're connected to things that are stressful to them. Music is not like that. Music is accepted by people so readily because it's so universally a place where people can let go and release and really kind of, you know, just sweat in a visceral way, release things that they've been holding on to. Like your body holds tension. When you're dancing, you're viscerally releasing that tension, you know, whether you realize it or not. And when you're singing and just expelling, sweating, getting yourself into the energy, it has, you know, the endorphins start coming out. It's a very physical thing. And I find that people respond to music in a totally different way. And that connection that I have with people sharing a very physical experience for me is the best part of what I do. It's like a community of like, get this shit.
What has been your biggest achievement so far?
Being able to be a full-time musician. I mean, even that is full-time only like 8 months of the year, but that's huge. To me, wintertime, it was like wintertime's very real. I was walking dog walking with Wag, and kind of setting my own schedule so that I could still be free for music. You know, it's the difficulty of remaining accessible for what I love to do and still having the real reality of maintaining a life on my own in New York City. You know, New York City is expensive spot, so wintertime, it's a seasonal, you know, it becomes a seasonal thing, like the wintertime. Like, what the fuck are we gonna do in the wintertime, you know? But there is still stuff happening. It's just not as much as the spring, summer, and fall.
Oh, it's coming.
So, right. So you find the ups and downs that are involved in this journey. It requires a sense of resilience. Like, it really requires you to love what you do and to be okay with supplying your needs in the pockets where you need to supply your needs.
Yeah, to learn how to be bold,
yourself.
you know,
Yeah,
to learn
right.
how to. I remember back in the day, I would not wear this necklace with these earrings. I'd be like, oh, it's too much. I don't know if I can. Now I'm like, I can just be exactly who I want to be. I became an adult to be able to make choices for myself. So I'm like, now I can do that. I can wear this necklace with these earrings, okay?
That's right. Do whatever you want
But
to
to
do.
be bold, to be unapologetic, to be myself, especially as a woman, you know, in this country, we're not so much. We're encouraged more so to kind of be supportive. And I feel like more so than ever, women are breaking out and learning how to be bold and fully themselves. And I feel like that energy, like this energy amongst women now to like be fucking everything you can be, everything you want it to be, everything you want to wear, everything you want to just be, everything you want to be. But it can be uncomfortable to get into that, like to break into this boldness, you know, to just be unapologetically yourself. And then like know when to check yourself as well. And having that balance be, you know, what makes you who you are.
That's right. Okay, so what would be the message? Now that you say like about like a woman, you know, like let's talk about like woman in the arts, you know, that's what we focus on. What would your message to them, like all these new artists?
See, this is what happens when you sit me on the couch. I'm just like, oh, let me
get comfy, it's alright. So yeah, what would you say to them, to new artists?
I mean, just love what you do. It can be really difficult to hold on to who you are in this industry because it can be hard to define what it is that you want in this industry. Like, my advice would be, don't be afraid to do as much as you can do, you know, and get as many streams of revenue as far as creative ways that you feel passionately about that make you feel alive. You know, I chase those moments so hard. I chase everything that makes me feel alive because I only have this one set of cartilage. That's the message. You get one set of cartilage, you get one set of knees, you get one set of shoulders, I get one set of tits. So I'm going to put them everywhere until they touch my ankles. And I might still put them everywhere. But you know, we have a limited time on this earth. And I just want to be able to be 95 and look back on my life and feel great about what I lived, what I created, who I met, the experiences I shared, the things that I did. I just want to feel great about it. I've met two types of older people. It's the older people that look back and they're like, wow, I did so much amazing shit. And then you have old people like, I could have been a ballerina. I would have been a driver of NASCAR. I could have been a musician, but I stayed in my desk job. And they're so full of regret. And I remember thinking at a very young age, like, I want to be that kind of old person. And so literally my whole life now I think like, what would that kind of old person do? And I'm like, they would get their ass up and go to that party. Yes, they would. You can sleep later tonight. You'll be fine. I can't stop thinking of you. And to see what you can do.
talk about all of this, and it sounds to me like freedom. You know, it's like to we're talking about like to be free of
It is
what you want to
freedom.
do, right? So let's talk about like for you what how you get that freedom from.
Man, for me, it circles back to the being bold enough to be yourself. To when I'm on stage, oh, I forgot the question.
How okay, me too, because I have it here different. Right. What are we talking about? It's about like freedom, but like yeah,
Oh,
like
freedom.
yeah. What is it for you? Basically.
Freedom is giving myself permission to be. So I think for a lot of my life, I felt like I had to be a certain way. Whether I was a Christian and I had to be the biblical way, or I was someone's fiance and I had to be the wifely way, or I was a student and I had to be the student way. It's like you have all these roles and all these things you have to be to other people. And freedom for me was the ability to look at myself and say, who do I want to be? What do I want to wear? How do I want to put on my makeup? How do I feel about what I'm doing? You know, and when that lined up with what I was giving out to the world on stage, for me that felt like freedom. That to me, when I can just be myself and it fits and it works. I feel like
Connected.
I feel like I'm no longer pulled in a lot of different directions to be other things for other people. I feel like now more centered because I have looked inside and said, Nikki, what do you want? How do you want to be? When there's no book telling you what to do, when there's no teacher there's no police officer, there's no friends there's nobody telling you anything. When there's nobody telling you anything, what do you think? And that's what I've asked myself over and over and over and over and over. When there's nobody else, what do you think? And then I take that forward. And then if it's challenged, I look at it and I say, okay, sometimes it's me, sometimes it's whatever it is. Let's say it's, I don't know, structural misogyny, or whatever it is. So I look at it and say, oh, okay, this one's not me. This one's structural misogyny. Okay, got it. And I navigate. And then sometimes it's the harder one that's like, ooh, this is me. Like I'm navigating through life and I hit something that exposes something in me that I'm like, okay, now I have to change the way I think about this. I have to change the way I operate. I have to change the way I view something, and it's hard work. But for me, the more I do that, the more I feel free. You gon' hurt your back, Karen. I think you better call Tyrone. Call him and tell him to come and kick up your shit.
Yeah.
I think you need to call Tyrone. Call. And do it on and on and on and on. The bad time protect them, baby. Oh, on and on and on and on. About to tell us back here somewhere. Shine you now, shine you now. Shine you now, shine you now. Silver up and
big hats.